Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday morning, June 26th. A very volatile weather situation in the Mid-Atlantic region, one that likely will produce some severe thunderstorm activity later today into tonight. Any thunderstorm later today or tonight can produce some hail, damaging wind gusts, even an isolated tornado or two. There certainly looks like there will be torrential downpours later today and tonight. Watch out for localized flash flooding conditions. This extends all the way from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. There were some tremendous downpours over the weekend, really from Friday through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, much of the Mid-Atlantic region. So the grounds, believe it or not, are pretty well saturated, especially north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. So any downpours later today and tonight can cause some localized flash flooding conditions. Here's the latest radar loop from the College of DuPage weather website. There are a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms right now. Philly metro region, eastern part of Pennsylvania. This is certainly not the main area to watch. Out west, we have a little spin, a little rotation in the radar echoes here, and that's associated with low pressure over the Great Lakes. That is a key player today. We have low pressure over the Great Lakes and a negatively tilted trough axis in the upper part of the atmosphere, extending from northwest to southeast from the Great Lakes into the Mid-Atlantic region. This is the area to watch later this morning into the afternoon for a blow-up of showers and thunderstorms. I expect the coverage to increase quite rapidly during the latter part of the morning into the midday and afternoon hours across the western part of the Mid-Atlantic region, and that just will translate into the eastern part of the Mid-Atlantic region later today into tonight. Again, severe thunderstorms and torrential downpours are certainly on the table for much of the Mid-Atlantic region later today and tonight, and even tomorrow. There can be some strong to severe thunderstorm activity in the Mid-Atlantic region. Well, here's the latest outlook from the NOAA's Storm Prediction Center. They're based out in Norman, Oklahoma, in terms of the severe weather probability, and they actually have an enhanced risk from central New Jersey across southeastern Pennsylvania, including the Philadelphia metro region, all the way across the D.C. area into the Carolinas. Really a slight risk all the way up past New York City. This entire area can see some severe thunderstorm activity later today and tonight. And again, any one of these thunderstorms can produce some large hail, damaging wind gusts, even an isolated tornado or two. Expect to see torrential downpours as well, and that can certainly result in flash flooding conditions anywhere in the Mid-Atlantic region later today and tonight. So again, the Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced threat of severe thunderstorms in much of the I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Philadelphia, and points to the coast from there. Well, let's take a look at last night's high-resolution NAM model. This is the 3-kilometer resolution version of the NAM, and I thought it was a most appropriate model to use for this particular situation, setting up for later today into tonight. First of all, here we start off the day on Monday morning with, again, using the 0Z run of the 3-kilometer version of the NAM, 500 millibar level, the vorticity field. And first thing you notice is this low pressure area in the upper part of the atmosphere over the Great Lakes, and that has a negatively tilted trough axis. By that we mean it extends from the center of the low pressure area from the northwest to the southeast. That's not all that typical, but what it does is it produces enhanced upward motion, as represented here by the plus, right in this particular quadrant. That sets things up for a very unstable and increasingly unstable atmosphere in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, in the Mid-Atlantic region, right here, associated with this negatively tilted trough axis. And we'll see this is a very slow moving system, so the threat of strong to severe thunderstorms will not only exist later today and tonight, but into the day on Tuesday as well. Certainly there can be some strong to severe thunderstorms on Tuesday, especially I-95 and points to the east. But this is an explosive setup, really, a volatile atmosphere, increasingly unstable. Any kind of sunshine over the next few hours will just destabilize the atmosphere. That daytime heating will help to destabilize the atmosphere, and I do expect to see some sunshine places like DC, Philadelphia, New York City. So all ingredients are coming together for that potential of severe weather later today and tonight, and certainly for more torrential downpours. You know, we went from drought conditions to flooding conditions in a hurry, especially north of the Mason-Dixon line, the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. All it took was several days of heavy downpours, and we are now saturated in many parts of Pennsylvania, even parts of New Jersey, and down to northern Maryland, the Delmarva Peninsula, with those downpours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's no doubt there will be downpours, in my mind, later today and tonight in much of the same area. This time it'll extend all the way down into the DC metro region. So let's now move forward here with this particular pattern here. Again, using the high resolution NAM model on an hourly basis here. We're moving forward here. And again, this system just slowly spins over the Great Lakes. Here we are now later today into tonight. Still, the upper level low sitting over the Great Lakes, and that negatively tilted trough axis just producing all kinds of upward motion right in this area here. And meteorologists, the weather forecaster, focuses in on upward motion areas because that is where clouds develop, precipitation develops. If it's just simply air moving up across a mountaintop, that's upward motion, could lead to some clouds and rain. If it's air that's being lifted from a cold frontal system moving in, or in this particular case with this negatively tilted trough axis, that orientation sets up a lot of upward motion on the eastern flank. And in this particular case, in this particular day, later today and tonight, that is right over the mid-Atlantic region. Now, let's move forward. And again, I mentioned that Tuesday, we're not out of the woods yet. This is the Tuesday morning, right here, Tuesday morning forecast map. And you still have kind of a sign of that upper level low over the eastern Great Lakes, and still kind of a negatively tilted trough axis. In other words, chance for strong to severe thunderstorms continues on Tuesday as well. Perhaps a little bit of a break in the weather by Wednesday and Thursday for the Mid-Atlantic region. Here we go all the way into Wednesday morning right here. Now, this is the Wednesday morning forecast map. A little bit of a break, maybe a little bit less of a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday, but upstream there's still a lot of activity. The unsettled weather for the Mid-Atlantic region, the wet weather pattern, will continue certainly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There will be a renewed chance of showers and thunderstorms. Well, now let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps, where we're looking at the radar reflectivities from the high-resolution NAM model as we begin the day here on Monday. Again, some isolated showers and storms, eastern Pennsylvania, central and northern New Jersey. But here's the area to really watch for development over the next several hours. Later this morning into the midday and afternoon, I expect coverage to increase in coverage and intensity in the western part of the Mid-Atlantic region. Now let's move through here, and you'll see the NAM model has a couple of lines starting to develop here by the latter part of the morning, midday. And here we go. By the time we get to mid to late afternoon, just scattered strong storms here. And there may very well be a solid line that forms in this region. We'll have to monitor that. But all of this activity can result in hail, in damaging wind gusts. Again, maybe even an isolated tornado or two. And again, the threat exists all the way down to the DC metro region. They haven't had quite as much downpour activity as, let's say, Philadelphia, the Delmarva Peninsula, into New Jersey last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But today, the threat for torrential downpours and severe thunderstorms goes all the way down into Virginia, Maryland, DC metro region, as well as Philadelphia, and all the way up to New York City. Let's move forward here. Look at this line that does indeed form here, extending from eastern Pennsylvania late in the afternoon, early evening, across the Delmarva Peninsula, just to the south and east of DC. That potential is certainly on the table for kind of a linear a line of strong to severe thunderstorms. Again, later today into tonight, and we move forward here through the night here. And in the overnight hours, the activity will diminish with the ending of the daytime heating. Certainly a little bit cooler, less heat in the lower part of the atmosphere, and things will diminish. But again, as we mentioned earlier, there will be still a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms to develop on Tuesday. And here we see the midday forecast map by this high resolution NAM model. This is midday on Tuesday. And again, there will be some strong to severe thunderstorms on the table for tomorrow as well in the mid-Atlantic region. Perhaps not quite as widespread as later today, but nonetheless, the threat exists all the way through tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And here we go into the late afternoon and evening hours on late Tuesday night. A very impressive forecast here, that far ahead for a line of strong to severe thunderstorms late tomorrow. So a lot of activity over the next 4 to 8 hours in the Mid-Atlantic region. Watch out for torrential downpours and localized flash flooding. Also, the threat exists for severe thunderstorms that can include large hail, damaging wind gusts, perhaps even an isolated tornado or two. One final note, I haven't mentioned the tropical situation. Indeed, those two tropical systems that we talked about last week that should undergo a weakening phase did pretty much completely dissipate. Tropical Storm Brett and Tropical Storm Cindy now dissipated over the past weekend, and really no activity expected over the next couple of days. But right now, the focus is on the Mid-Atlantic region. And certainly stay tuned to the skies later today and tonight. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.